We, as Native people, as Cherokee people, I think that we are innate storytellers. We know these stories, and we know how to tell them. Osiyo, Candice Byrd Dawado, Aya Anit Salagi. Hello, my name is Candice Byrd, and I am an actor and an advocate. I was born and raised here in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. I am the middle child of 3. I have an older brother, Joseph, and a younger sister, Julia. My parents were both educators. One parent chose the political route, while my mother stayed in public school teaching. And my mom really wanted us to go into the arts because, well, I think she thought that we had a talent for it. Also, we weren't that great at sports. So when I went into grad school, that's where I started. You know, I got more of the classical theater, got more technique and training under my belt. Then I started delving into storytelling because I was looking for Native forms of expression. But I never read a Native play before. I had never read a Native play by a Native playwright because there's not a lot of Native theater out there. There's not a lot of Native theater that was being produced at the time that I was in grad school. Most people in America have never seen, they're more likely to see a portrayal of redface than they are to actually see a Native person in a Native role, let alone written by a Native playwright. If that has been the diet of the American theater going public, this is a great opportunity to hopefully change perceptions about who we are as people, who we are as individuals, who we are, and finally being humanized. And that's what theater is. That's part of what theater is to me. Being an actor, it's a thrill. It's being alive on stage. I find that when I'm on stage, and there's a difference, of course, between being on stage when there isn't an audience and when there is an audience. And when there's the audience, there's an electricity. It's like you're sharing energy, and you take that energy and you hopefully transfer it back to them, and then it becomes an interesting relationship between the audience and the performer. I was doing a full-scale production of Sovereignty by Mary Catherine Nagel. I played Sarah Ridge Polson. I've worked with Mary Catherine several times, and so this was a natural fit.
I didn't need any convincing. You had me at Osiyo.
I had seen one of my role models, Delana Studi, read this role. And Delana Studi was the first Native American person I ever saw on stage. I saw her in August Osage County when she came to Tulsa. My mother asked me, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I told her that the only thing I wanted to see was I wanted to go see August Osage County, and I wanted to watch Delana Studi play Jonna on stage. Then later I got to do a reading with her, and I was so psyched, and I tried not to fangirl, but I did. And I thought, wow, you know, this really can happen. We really can have a presence. We can have a space for ourselves on stage. That's where I got hooked for this advocacy theater, and MK was very instrumental in creating this, and it was very specific culturally. Bringing language, bringing your culture, bringing your ancestors into these spaces and knowing that they are with you. One of the things that attracts me to theater is its inherently collaborative nature. There's a special feeling that comes from being an ensemble, from creating within a group.
Are you feeling ready?
I do. Some of them, the reactions were very nice. Some of them were like less nice. Like
It's intangible. It's innate. There's a synchronization that happens.
I'm a theater maker, and I'm a storyteller in my community, and I'm interested in discovering ways and techniques of how to empower some of our vulnerable voices that are in our communities.
That's one reason why I'm drawn to children's theater and working with young people. Osiyo, Diniotle, how are you guys today? Host. Children are easiest to talk to about this. They have that innate understanding. When we grow up as adults, you become a little bit more inhibited. You become safer. You become cautious. You are the adult in the room. And certain things are expected of adults. But in theater, that's not necessarily true. In theater, I feel like a lot of my techniques, a lot of my schooling, honestly, if I could sum it up, it was destructuring and learning how to get back to being 7 years old on Christmas morning.
Come on,
I don't necessarily see myself as an individual voice. I see us as a chorus. I want to empower other people to tell their stories, to find their voice, because there is a space. There is space for us here.